Grand Theft Auto 4 is considered to be one of Rockstar Games' best GTA titles of all time, and it takes place in Liberty City, which is home to some of the most unforgettable characters in gaming history, including the three main protagonists, Luis Lopez, Johnny Klebitz, and of course, Niko Bellic. With the main game and two story mode updates, we were introduced to a huge list of characters, and while many of them remained in Liberty City, some of them actually made their way over to Los Santos where they would continue their journey, or in some cases, meet their demise. In this video, I'll be sharing with you all of the GTA 4 characters who appear in GTA 5, and could we expect to see one or more of these characters appear in GTA 6? We'll begin with fan favorite Packie McReary. Packie met Niko through Elizabeth Torres, and they formed a bond after surviving a deal gone wrong. He brought Niko into his family's crew, leading to several robberies, including the Bank of Liberty heist. Despite Niko killing one of his brothers, Packie grew to trust him, even encouraging him to date his sister Kate. And after Kate's death in the revenge ending, Packie was left heartbroken, guilt-ridden, and responsible for the tragedy. With most of his family dead or distant, he eventually left Liberty City, seeking a fresh start, later resurfacing in Los Santos by 2013. Still sticking to what he knows, Packie is seen holding up a dollar pill store in Strawberry. During the robbery, Packie and his accomplice find themselves without a vehicle. It's when one of the protagonists arrives that Packie asks for help in exchange for a portion of the money. From here, Packie becomes available as a gunman for future heists. If selected for the Polito score, the crew share their past experiences, and when he gets to Packie, he mentions the heist that he took part in back in Liberty City. He mentions that one of the gunmen was shot and killed during the robbery, and the other, being his brother Derek, ended up dying not long after. He also mentions Niko Bellic, guessing that he's probably dead, but it seems like he's just no longer in contact with him. By 2019, Packie finds himself in the back of a police transporter with an unnamed accomplice. After the online protagonist rescues him from the police and helps him get to his destination, Lester sends the player a text to say that Packie owes us a debt and will be available to help out with the Diamond Casino heist. From Liberty City all the way to Los Santos, wherever he is, it seems like he's always involved in the biggest scores around him. So, could we possibly see him next year in Vice City with GTA 6? Before we get into the next character, I want to say a quick shout out to today's sponsor, GamerSupps. For those of you who tune into my live streams, you'll know that I have an unhealthy obsession with energy drinks, even when I'm not streaming. But GamerSupps reached out to me recently to try some of their products, and to be honest, I was quite skeptical at first. The flavors they sent me out were Guacamole Gamer Fight 9000, Good, Goof Juice, and Lean, along with a sample pack with some extra flavors. And much to my surprise, they actually tasted really good, and they're not loaded up with sugar either. So if you're looking to find something to sip on while you play games, then check out the link in the description below and get yourself some GamerSupps. Be sure to use my code BAV for a 10% discount at the checkout. With my code, you can also get yourself a free sample pack with a bunch of different flavors, and it includes free shipping for those of you who want to try before you buy. You honestly can't go wrong with free stuff, so definitely go and check out GamerSupps. Don't forget to use my code BAV, and with that out of the way, let's get back into the video. Next up, we have Brucie Kibbutz. In Liberty City, Brucie ran his own legitimate business called Brucie's Executive Lifestyle Autos, and he would often seek the help of Niko to get things done. Eventually, their business relationship came to an end, but the pair both remained friends. Brucie later has a short appearance in The Ballad of Gay Tony, taking abuse from his older brother Maury, before eventually standing up for himself and breaking his nose. In the end credits, he's seen again, this time settling the beef he had with his brother at the Liberty City Fight Club. By 2013, Brucie had become the spokesperson for Bullshark Testosterone. Although he doesn't physically appear in the story, his presence is shown on the in-game websites. That was until GTA Online, where we were able to contact Brucie to order BST to be delivered to the player. Years later, in 2019, Brucie officially relocated to Los Santos and went to the Diamond Casino and Resort to inquire about a job as a personal masseuse/fitness aide for Tao Chang. After successfully landing the role, Brucie put Tao Chang on an intense workout schedule and even got him hooked on Bullshark Testosterone, which unintentionally led to a war between the Duggans and Changs. After the conflict, Tao left Los Santos, but Brucie somehow managed to keep his position at the Diamond Casino and Resort. The next time we would see Brucie is during one of the scope out missions for the Diamond Casino heist, where he is seen hanging out with the guests and heading back to Young Ancestor's after party. Later on during the Big Con approach, both Brucie and Young Ancestor will offer a distraction for the player, which will result in Brucie getting shot in the leg. That would be the last time we see Brucie Kibbutz, but it's not the last time we hear of him, because during the Los Santos Tuners update, Brucie's car can be spotted inside of the LS car meet, with the license plates reading "the bitch," which is a callback to the mission in GTA 4 where he would refer to his Banshee as the bitch. In addition to this, Brucie gives Santa a list of vehicle requests which would be passed on to the player to steal to help his auto shop business back in Liberty City. After exporting a total of 1,000 vehicles, Brucie sends the player a text thanking us for our service. Moving on to Johnny Klebitz and Ashley Butler. The pair shared a troubled relationship throughout the events of The Lost and Damned, with Johnny trying to help Ashley overcome her addiction. This eventually led to Johnny cutting her off completely after realizing that she is unable to change for the better. Fast forward to 2013 with GTA 5, and the pair have both rekindled their toxic relationship and relocated to Blaine County. Eventually, they started doing business with Trevor Phillips, which would mark the beginning of Johnny's downfall. During this time, Johnny fell into a drug addiction alongside Ashley, and because of this, Johnny was demoted to vice president, but things only got worse from here. Ashley started sleeping with Trevor, and when Johnny confronted him, it ended with Trevor smashing him over the head with a bottle and brutally stomping him to death. As for Ashley, she is last seen mourning over Johnny's body, leaving it up to the player to decide her fate. Regardless of the player's decision, a Weasel News report will later come out after the mission Eye in the Sky, revealing that Ashley Butler died after participating in a drug-fueled orgy in a Paleto Bay condo. Up next, we have Terry Thorpe and Clay Simmons. Both of these guys were part of the Lost MC's Liberty City chapter, and they came over to Blaine County following Johnny Klebitz after the events of The Lost and Damned. In GTA 4, Terry was the Sergeant at Arms and Clay was the road captain. In GTA 5, they appear briefly during the mission Mr. Phillips, when Trevor goes to antagonize both Terry and Clay after brutally stomping Johnny's head and killing him in the process. The pair quickly try to escape to go and warn the others, but Trevor follows behind them and ends up killing them both. Their deaths are optional, but the game's gold medal completion requires you to kill them both, and this was later confirmed to be canon during the Bikers update, where a picture of Terry can be seen with the letters RIP written below it, meaning that all of the surviving Lost MC members who ended up coming over from Liberty City ended up dead. Moving on to our next character, we have Malc. Just like Johnny, Clay, and Terry, Malc is another biker, but he's not part of the Lost MC. Instead, he's a member of the Uptown Riders who mostly ride sports bikes. Later on, Malc teams up with Johnny in a drug deal gone wrong, which results in Johnny's bike getting destroyed. Malc has Johnny hop on the back and they escape the LCPD together. The next time we see Malc is when he's asked to help Johnny kidnap Roman Bellic, as he didn't want the Lost MC to know about it and couldn't do it alone. Over time, the two developed a genuine friendship, with Johnny constantly poking fun at Malc's taste in sports bikes. Eventually, Malc challenges Johnny to a race to settle the debate once and for all before the two part ways. Then in the Bikers update for GTA Online, Malc makes a brief appearance when he introduces the online protagonist to their newly acquired MC Clubhouse. From here, Malc provides you with contracts for you to handle. Not much is known on what he's doing now, but it's safe to assume that he's still involved in the biker scene, given that he provides additional missions in 2022 with extra contracts and bike shop client jobs. Next up, we have Tony Prince, also known as Gay Tony. In Liberty City, Tony had become a nightclub entrepreneur, with him owning both the Maisonette 9 and Hercules nightclubs. By the end of the game, it's assumed that Tony ended up selling all of his clubs to Yusuf Amir, who had plans to franchise the clubs. After completing the final mission, Tony leaves Liberty City for good, and Luis is no longer able to contact him. By 2018, Gay Tony is back, and he's moved to Los Santos with ambitions to open up 10 new nightclubs. Unfortunately for him, the deal somehow fell through, and all 10 properties ended up on the Maze Bank foreclosures website. With the backing and investment from the online protagonist, they managed to secure one of the venues, get it up and running, and Tony continues to support them with the help of Laszlo Jones and English Dave. If you guys are interested in seeing Laszlo's story, I do have a video on that, and I'll leave it linked down below so that you guys can check it out after this video. As the player manages the club, Tony brings in world-class DJs through English Dave's connections, including Solomon, Tale of Us, Dixon, and the Black Madonna, each helping to boost the club's popularity. Tony also sends the player out on various jobs to keep the venue's popularity high, while also taking a 10% cut from the nightclub's secret money laundering operations. After successfully running 2 nightclubs in Liberty City, Gay Tony had finally done it again in Los Santos. And with GTA 6 set in Vice City, a place renowned for its vibrant, neon-soaked nightlife, one can only hope that he'll do it all over again. I'd love to know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Next on the list, we have Yusuf Amir. Known for his luxurious lifestyle and wild personality, Yusuf is easily one of the best side characters in the Ballad of Gay Tony. Born into wealth, Yusuf moved to Liberty City to make his father proud by developing high-end properties across the city. Throughout the events of the story, Yusuf constantly reminds Gay Tony that he wants to franchise his 2 nightclubs internationally. And by the end of the game, it's presumed that Tony finally agreed to have the clubs franchised by Yusuf. Fast forward to GTA Online, and Yusuf Amir's influence started popping up. Players could deck out their weapons in the signature Yusuf Amir luxury finish, or even handle business for him through the import-export operations, CEO, and nightclub warehouse missions. Then finally, in 2023, Yusuf finally makes his first physical appearance in GTA Online with the Chop Shop DLC. Looking to further grow his expensive car collection, mission, Yusuf comes to Los Santos with his cousin Jamal to set up a salvage yard called Red's Auto Parts. After getting into contact with a potential investor, that being the online protagonist, they officially begin their business partnership together. Yusuf reveals his plans to steal luxury cars and have them shipped to Liberty City to add to his personal car collection. From there, Yusuf steps back into his usual party lifestyle, leaving the player and Jamal to handle the dirty work. Once the first high-value car is stolen, Yusuf returns to celebrate the success, and then he heads back home to Liberty City. Karen Daniels, also known as Michelle, was Nico Bellic's early love interest before later being revealed to be an undercover government agent. Prior to the reveal, Nico had to pick her and her friend up from the subway station, and during the car ride, her friend Mallory suggested that the two should go out on a date. One thing led to another, and eventually the pair would go out on several dates. Sometimes after one of the dates, if Nico asked to come inside for coffee, Michelle will tell Nico that would cost almost $20 million, which is a funny reference to the controversial hot coffee mod in GTA San Andreas, which resulted in Rockstar Games having to pay that same amount in settlements due to various lawsuits. Eventually, Michelle would reveal to Nico that her real name is Karen and she is working for the government to keep an eye on him. Because of this, the pair break up, and after Karen takes Nico to ULP, she is never seen again. Years later, in GTA 5, Karen has moved up and become a high-ranking IAA agent, and although she appears in the story mode, her first canonical appearance is during the Humane Labs raid, as the heist DLC takes place before the events of GTA 5's story. In the setup mission, the crew are tasked with retrieving access codes for the Humane Labs facility from the IAA, with Karen being the one to hand them over. During this interaction, they get ambushed by the FIB, who caught wind of the situation. The crew engages the FIB agents, and Karen flees the scene. After successfully extracting the files and completing the raid, the crew meet with her again, handing over the USB containing the files. She then hands them a grenade to destroy the helicopter used in the finale. The next time we see Karen is during the story mission 3's company. She is seen inside of the IAA headquarters alongside her associates interrogating Mr. K after believing he is involved in terrorist organizations. In the mission, Michael rappels from a helicopter piloted by Trevor, with Franklin watching over with a sniper rifle. During the interrogation, Karen hits Mr. K's hands with a flashlight before threatening to shove it up his ass. Before Karen can get any answers out of Mr. K, Michael smashes in through the window and secures the target, but Karen manages to call for backup and flee the scene before the shootout erupts. Next up, we have Agent ULP, whose real name is Bernard. As mentioned earlier in the video, Karen introduces Nico to ULP and he's blackmailed into working for him. These jobs typically include killing people who are supposedly linked to terrorist organizations and also covering up ULP's trail. In exchange for Nico's services, ULP promises to find the man Nico came to Liberty City for, and towards the end of the game, he follows through with that promise when he delivers Darko Breivik to the airport for Nico to decide his fate. After this encounter, the two part ways and ULP isn't seen again for the remainder of the game. The next time we would see Agent ULP is in GTA 5 during the mission Monkey Business, where he appears towards the end of the mission, discovering Steve Haynes with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to avoid suspicion of his involvement during the raid. Regardless, ULP has him detained. Later on in the story, when tensions are rising, Michael DeSanta meets with Steve Haynes, Dave Norton, and Agent Sanchez before they were ambushed by Agent ULP with the IAA. Then the FIB and Merryweather arrive before it turns into a massive shootout between all parties. Although ULP can be killed during this mission, his death is not considered canon, as he would later appear in GTA Online. His appearance in GTA Online takes place in 2017 during Act 2 of the Doomsday Heist. Here, Agent ULP has been kidnapped by the Russians and he's being held captive at the Foundry. The players manage to clear out the area and secure ULP, handing him over to Avon Hertz security team for protection. Later on during Act 3 of the heist, the crew are tasked with escorting Agent ULP's helicopter to the IAA hideout. This is also the mission that reveals his real name to be Bernard. The next time we would see Agent ULP is during the Criminal Enterprises DLC, where Agent ULP hires the online protagonist as a sworn-in IAA special agent for the Operation Paper Trail missions. He sends us to investigate the Duggan crime family, who are responsible for the increase in gas prices. During the investigation, we discover that the Duggans have acquired the remains of Clifford's AI code, which was presumably destroyed during the Doomsday Heist, and they were using this code as part of their strategy to hike up fuel prices and increase the Duggan family's profits. Agent ULP has the player ambush a business deal between the Duggans and FIB at the Mile High building, which ends with Mason Duggan being killed and Clifford's AI software being seized by the IAA. In the final mission, he gives the player access to a top secret government facility inside of Mount Chiliad, tasking them with destroying every server to completely erase Clifford's existence. Moving on to Marnie Allen and Jimmy Boston. Although Jimmy Boston didn't technically appear in GTA 4, his name is mentioned during the game, as he's known to be a famous celebrity. In GTA 5, Jimmy has become a member of the Epsilon program and takes part in welcoming Michael DeSanta into the cult. If you want a more in-depth look at Jimmy's story, I've got a video with a whole segment dedicated to just him. You'll be able to find that link down below. Marnie Allen, on the other hand, does make a physical appearance in GTA 4. You can come across Marnie in several random encounters where she is often seen begging for money, visibly struggling with addiction and suffering from withdrawals. Nico, feeling sympathetic, drives her to her dealer and covers the cost. Sometime later, Nico bumps into Marnie again. This time she explains that she's in a lot of trouble and is afraid that someone is going to kill her. Nico agrees to take her to the train station so she is able to escape Liberty City and return to her parents in the Midwest. Nico managed to help Marnie get her life back on track, and in doing so led to her joining the Epsilon program alongside Jimmy Boston, and the pair would go on to recruit Michael DeSanta. Then in 2021, during the Contract DLC, Marnie appears once again with Jimmy Boston in a business meeting between them and Lamar Davis. Their meeting comes to an end when the Vargos gang members arrive, forcing both Marnie and Jimmy to flee the scene. Marnie's final appearance takes place in 2025 with the Money Fronts DLC. The Epsilon program is involved in a money laundering operation, and the courier who was meant to deliver the bills to them had been ambushed. The player heads out to locate the guy and recover the bills to complete the transaction. Upon arrival at the drop, the player completes the handover with Marnie Allen, still proving her loyalty to the Epsilon program. Next up, we have the actress Poppy Mitchell. She's first seen in The Ballad of Gay Tony. Desperate to get out of the club without the paparazzi bothering her, Luis Lopez drives a fire truck to the entrance of the building to spray them with water while Poppy climbs inside the truck and he drops her off at her hotel. Moving forward to GTA 5, Poppy has relocated to Los Santos, and after years of being in the public eye and dealing with paparazzi, she seems to have become unstable and more aggressive compared to her previous appearances. During one of Franklin's Strangers and Freaks missions, he meets a guy named Beverly, who is one of the people who have been following Poppy around, capturing pictures of her every move. In one of the missions, you're tasked with sneaking into the Gentry Manor Hotel to capture footage of Poppy Mitchell reenacting a scene from the Discovery Channel. And for obvious reasons, I won't be showing you that scene. Once Poppy spots the camera, she chases after Franklin and Beverly, leading to a huge chase that results in her getting into a car crash. After this, Beverly posted the footage online, further damaging Poppy's reputation. After continuing to spiral out of control, Poppy is later seen in a police chase for driving under the influence, and Beverly sends Franklin out to go and get footage. The chase ends with her crashing into a tree and getting placed under arrest. Franklin, of course, was there to capture the moment. After her arrest, a Weasel News broadcast can be heard on the in-game radio, revealing that Poppy Mitchell was convicted for drunk driving and is sentenced to serve time in prison. Years later, in the After Hours DLC, Poppy Mitchell has been released from prison and becomes one of the celebrity guests that can be delivered to the player's nightclub to increase the club's population. Once she arrives at the club, she'll be seen dancing in the VIP section. Our next character is Al DiNapoli. Al is an actor who struggles with addiction. His first appearance is during The Ballad of Gay Tony, where Luis is sent to pick him up from the Hercules nightclub and drives him to a drug deal at the Vespucci University. After arriving at the deal, cops swarm the area, forcing them to escape. After getting away from the police, Luis drops Al off at the Andrum Theatre for a show that he stars in. Then in GTA 5, Al DiNapoli appears again, this time through a series of Strangers and Freaks missions for Trevor. Nigel and Mrs. Thornhill are two stalkers who collect pieces of celebrity memorabilia as souvenirs. This time though, they want Trevor to kidnap Al DiNapoli, and after waiting outside of where he's at, Al spots them and gets into his car, which leads to a huge chase, crashing through a hospital and ending with Trevor stuffing him into the trunk of their car before they drive off into the distance. Later on, when Nigel and Mrs. Thornhill tell Trevor that he's too much to handle and ask him to take care of it, Trevor, being Trevor, agrees and drives the car with Al in the trunk onto a set of train tracks, bailing out of the vehicle before it collides with the train, killing him in the process. Now, it's worth noting that his death is optional, as you can actually release Al from the trunk early and allow him to escape. The game's gold medal requirement is to kill him, which would make his death part of the game's canon. However, in the final mission of the game, one of the gold medal requirements include killing all of the Changs, which would mean that Tao Chang's death is canon, but we all know that he went on to survive and appears in the Diamond Casino update. What's also interesting is that Al DiNapoli lives in Vice City.
You live in Vice now, don't you?
I went for tax reasons and stayed for my sanity.
I hate to think what you'd be like somewhere else.
Oh, I'd be a fucking train wreck, bro.
Vice is the only city in the U.S. worth sticking in.
So if he is somehow alive, then could we expect to see him next year in GTA 6? Our next character is Rocco Pelosi. Rocco is a made man in the Ancelotti crime family, working as a loan shark alongside his uncle Vince. When Gay Tony is unable to pay up, both he and Luis are roped into working for them. As the story unfolds, their relationship with Luis and Tony come to an end when Luis kills Uncle Vince, and as he's about to kill Rocco, he lets him go because Tony reminds him that Rocco is a made man. If the player tries to call Rocco after the final mission, you'll hear a voicemail stating that he has fled Liberty City to lay low for a while. With Grand Theft Auto 5, we come to learn that Rocco made his way to Los Santos and he's planning on developing a nightclub in the city, likely as part of an insurance scam. In addition to the nightclub, Rocco also works as a talent manager while still maintaining his ties to the Ancelotti crime family. He tries to extort movie producer Solomon Richards by signing his lead actor into a shady contract. Solomon sends Michael to go out and take care of it, and Michael ends up confronting Rocco, beating him down, forcing him to leave the studio alone, and then he takes the movie director and lead actor back to Solomon to resume production. In a later mission, Michael arrives at the studio to find Rocco and his associate Gianni attacking Solomon. After Michael steps in, the pair try to flee the scene, but Michael chases after and kills them both in the process. As a bonus character, we have Jerry Kapowitz. Now, Jerry doesn't appear in Grand Theft Auto 5, but there are clues to him appearing in GTA 6. In GTA 4, Jerry Kapowitz is a homeless war veteran who can be seen begging for money early on in the game, but by the end of the Bella de Gay Tony, Luis accidentally knocks him into a pile of garbage, and after this interaction, Jerry notices a small bag, and after picking it up and looking inside, he finds a stash of diamonds, which are valued at over $2 million. With his newfound wealth, Jerry makes plans to move to Vice City and open up a gun and liquor store. So could we expect to see Jerry Kapowitz make a return next year in Grand Theft Auto 6? If you did enjoy the video, then it might be worth checking out my other videos where I dive into the GTA characters and other Rockstar universe lore. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.